I'm Rick Seitz with Timeless Muscle Magazine. We're at the 2017 Trans Am Nationals. I'm standing right here next to the legend himself, Herb Adams, the father of the Trans Am. Herb's been working with Firebirds probably since about the beginning, right? Really, since '67?
Yeah,
67. So '67, you kind of helped kick off the whole Trans Am project as a whole, really, in like '68, '69 with Pontiac.
Right.
So
DeLorean was trying to get his Banshee approved for production, and GM wouldn't go for it. So when Camaro had the new Mustang with the Camaro, they told John he could have a Firebird.
Okay.
Instead of a Jeep Banshee.
Nice.
That's where the program started.
Okay. Very cool. So you were with Pontiac for quite some time. Sometime in the '70s, you left Pontiac, General Motors as a whole, and you started VSE, what would become VSE.
Right.
You would take production Trans Ams to the next level. So this is like the ultimate Trans Am, really.
Yeah.
They call it Fire Am.
Well, there's a background story too.
Okay. Absolutely.
John Chinella, who was then the chief stylist at Pontiac Ford Firebird, he recognized that Pontiac's performance imaging was ill-fated because they hadn't done anything.
Sure. Yeah, that's when the middle of the first oil embargo and the EPA and the CAFE, all that stuff kind of kicked in, and all the performance kind of came to a screeching halt at General Motors as a whole, really.
So he came up with the idea to do a celebrity match race.
Okay.
Like, sort of like iRock, sort of thing.
Sure.
And he was able to sell the idea to his bosses, Pontiac's chief engineer.
Okay.
And we built, I developed the package, and everybody proved it, they tested it.
Sure.
Everybody's happy.
Okay.
And we built, I think it was 8 cars.
8 cars.
Yeah, for that event.
Okay.
Then they got another chief engineer, another general manager that rotated.
Sure.
And he didn't have the guts to do it.
Okay.
So the program got canceled, even when we got 8 cars.
Right.
And even the magazines recognized Pontiac needed a shot.
Okay. Sure.
And so they gave us a lot of preliminary exposure for the concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we cancel the project. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So in the process, our company got a lot of requests for the parts.
Okay.
That's what started GSE.
Nice.
So
then you kind of started taking on, you take production Trans Ams for customers, and then you give them your treatment. Beefed up the engine, suspension, the brake works, different tires, wheel packages.
well, most of them were mail order.
Mail order, okay. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I called the chief engineer and I said, the new chief engineer.
Okay.
And I said, can we sell these parts?
Sure.
That have been developed for this program.
Okay.
And he told me, I don't give a damn what you do.
Wow.
So,
quite a mouthful.
so that's when we proceeded to sell the parts.
Okay.
Develop the cars. And what Chanel wanted to do is get the Trans Am so it would perform on the racetrack.
Sure.
So that's all we had to do, the things we did.
Okay.
Lowering, suspension, all that stuff. Was so that it would perform adequately when these celebrities were racing.
Right.
So that's kind of the history of the
Sure.
We named it Fire Am.
Fire Am. Awesome. So then you actually professionally raced as well yourself. So you're actually a racer as well. So you actually took the stuff on the track and proved it yourself. Was that not some gimmicky stuff or something, just it sounded good on paper? It was this proven, track tested hardware.
One of the cars, again, we're trying to prove our expertise.
Sure.
So we built a car famous for a cone hole cave.
Okay.
And I drove it from California where we were doing the work.
Sure.
To Daytona and ran in 24 hours.
Okay.
We were in 10th place in about 4 hours from the end of cranked it.
Wow. Right. That was a production crank, right? That was a stock crank?
Yeah.
Okay.
We paid attention.
Sure.
But it showed what the car could do.
Okay. And you actually offer these components all through the 70s, 80s, 90s. You even got into the third gen stuff a little bit too.
Yeah.
last I checked, you were still offering parts up to 2006, and you kind of took a break for a little bit, and now we're kind of getting back into it, full steam ahead, from what I understand, based on this car.
Well, NPD, National Part Distributor,
Okay.
are now selling these parts.
Okay. So if I had, say, like a 77 Trans Am, I want to give the Herb Adams treatment, the Fire Am treatment, I can just give them a ring, go online, get a decal kit, get the suspension, get whatever I need to make it a Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the guys that built this car, Matt,
Okay.
they'll do the installation of something else.
Oh, nice. No, for context, Matt is actually your son, right? He's actually.
Yeah.
How about that? That's awesome. So in a sense, you can still get an Adams built, VSC Fire Am if you want, if you're so inclined. So
right.
very cool. Very cool.
Jim is the son of Don Haller, which was one of our racing.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. That's awesome. Very cool. So it all ties in together. And so the roll history is back with VSC. So again, if you could build a car at home yourself using MPD hardware or your products, or a customer could reach out to you, Matt, and then the VSC and just have the car shipped up there, and they can just do your thing. Okay, great. Now, this car has your kind of complete package. I mean, it has a suspension, it has all the graphics. It also has a modern 17-inch honeycomb wheels from year one, the Nitto rubber we spoke about earlier. And instead of a traditional Pontiac engine, you went modern LS with those things. How do you feel about being an old school Pontiac guy?
It's too hard to get Pontiac engine parts.
Yeah.
These engines are better.
Say that again. Say that again.
Generation.
These engines are better than the old Pontiac motors.
Yeah, well, they're lighter and they're more powerful.
Okay, I just had to put. Herb Adams says that these engines are better Pontiac. So take it as you want it. So if anybody out there is watching this and says, "Well, the LS motors, this, that, and the other," Herb Adams has signed off on it, and he knows a thing or two about a Pontiac motor. So that's pretty cool. That was a little nugget in there for us, a little pleasant surprise for our viewers at home. But very cool.
Nothing but the truth.
It's true, absolutely. I mean, you get the reliability, the fuel economy, the performance. I mean, it's a whole package. Lightweight, compact.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Which is what you want in a handling pro touring car, a road racer. So, very cool. Well, Herb, it was always a pleasure. It was nice speaking to you. It's nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Take care. It's quite an interesting treat to meet a legend in person, and someone who actually helped create the Trans Am as a whole. But not only that, but raced them back in the day. Created aftermarket performance hardware for these cars and stuff. So it's very exciting and very surreal to meet you and finally have this opportunity to speak with you. Okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Well, take care, guys. Until next time.